With our stunning collection of fine jewelry, gemstones, pearls and diamonds, fine pieces in timeless designs and unspoken elegance. Al Siraj Jewelry, our story, our pride.
The lovely green waters of Bahrain seas lured her, and she wished to make the country her home. And the universe conspired to gift her her dream. That's about Sarva Velamuri, founder of Out of the Box Media and Events Company. Like the name of her startup, it is all about thinking out of the box when it comes to the successful entrepreneur for over 17 years, who has been active in the field, catering sparkling ideas to her clients. The Indian resident in Bahrain since the 90s, the former Gulf Air crew, is also the familiar voice to the people in the country. None could have missed hearing it at least once while they are in Bahrain. Elegant and gentle, she reminds us it is time to board the flight back home while sipping a coffee at the Bahrain International Airport, or on the need to stay vaccinated on the Be Aware app, the kingdom's online COVID support system. Miss Velamuri is a part-time English language newsreader with Radio Bahrain. To her credits are several programs including the Ramadan Reflections and 1 Minute of Arab History. She produced and presented Bahrain Television Channel 55's program Islands Weekly and its Ramadan game show Tic-Tac-Toe, alongside being its Hindi language newsreader. Miss Velamuri also produced 24 video segments for Bahrain International Circuit prior to its opening in 2004, which was broadcast across all sports channels in the GCC countries. The vibrant woman is also the founder of the first ever dance and fitness studio, Bollywood Steps, in Bahrain. Passionate about books by contemporary Asian authors, Sudoku and Scrabble, which are her free time distractions, Miss Velamuri also occasionally embarks on culinary adventures with friends. Joining us this evening on BIZ Talk, Stories Behind Business Leaders from BMC Global Live, it is Sarva Velamuri, founder of Out of the Box. A voice which arrests your attention, a vibrance that attracts, ever so bright, always thinking out of the box. Joining me this new year at the BMC studios on BIZ Talk, Success Stories of Business Leaders, is the founder of Out of the Box Media and Events Company, Sarva Velamuri. Sarva, good evening, a very happy new year to you and welcome to the show.
Thank you, Raji. Happy New Year to you. Thank you for the glorious introduction.
I meant it. Every word meant it. And it's indeed an honor to have you with us this evening to hear a little more from you, all those success stories that you showcase out there on Out of the Box. Not only that, a voice which many people have heard very often. Let's come to all that in this 1 hour chat, an easy chat, an evening chat. Okay. Let me begin this show with this beautiful name, Out of the Box.
Okay.
Isn't it? That's a phrase, and that too for a business. Tell me, like, who chose this name? Was this your idea?
Okay. I started the business in 2005, and I was already working for radio, and I knew there was an opportunity for media sales. And I used to get a lot of calls for requests for broadcast. So I decided I'll start a company, and it was fairly simple. I mean, it was a lengthy procedure, but every step of the way there was somebody to help. I did it on my own. I did request my husband for help, and he said, try it on your own. I'm around. But I think you'll feel better if you try to accomplish everything on your own. So that time I remember the Chamber of Commerce or Ministry of Commerce was in diplomatic area. Parking used to be a challenge.
Yes.
So I would leave the house before 6. So I can get parking at 6:30, wait for the chamber to open, collect the form, go from place to place. So the company was set up in 2005 January. So stepping into the 18th year in a few days.
Beautiful.
And I had to choose a name, but I wanted something out of the box. So I was telling, my friends, I need a name which is out of the box, different. And nobody could, it was the usual names. And I said, you know what, let me call it Out of the Box.
Okay.
So that's how the name came about. So it started as a media sales company, but I also knew there was opportunity for unique concepts, activations, sampling, as well as events. And that's how it started. It's been over 17 years. I'm blessed to have a very good team, and we are a diverse age profile, nationalities. So you see, that's what. So until now, we have made it through a very challenging 2020, 2021.
Indeed.
We are still around, so grateful.
Great. Yeah, 18 years. And that too, you thought of such a business at that time. If I remember right, the only person before you whom I've had a chat with on this platform is Kamis Mukla, who took a decision in the same line.
Yeah, he's a legend.
I know, he's a legend and he's icon. Yeah, but he also thought different, literally out of the box. You were into media, I understand, but still, tell me, Sarva, from your experience in Bahrain, the 18 years, how do you see the growth of this field?
Growth has been fantastic, I think. First of all, what is very good is the clients are also very savvy. They are educated, they are informed, so there's not much of an effort for a pitch or anything like that. They understand. And the growth has been amazing for media, I would think. However, the platform now, it's getting more into digital space, which is a good thing, I would think. So, yeah.
But do you see the field totally turning to a digital side?
Eventually, I think that will happen. Having said that, I'm still old school. I still read physical books as opposed to a Kindle or a digital content. Okay. So yes, but I think the newer generation, it's going to be digital in a big way. I mean, everything is digital, right from your banking to your grocery shopping. So,
and I think that's a need of the hour as well.
Yeah, true.
Going forward, how did you find the COVID times, the challenging years?
It was challenging. I think it was not only for us. I mean, all over the world. I mean, it's a global challenge. Bahrain, at least, we had the support of Tamkeen and the local people. And I think it was really a lot of people cooperated. Like, for example, I mean, our landlord said, okay, 3 months rent was waived off. All these little things really, really helped. People were patient. What the pandemic has taught everybody, whether it's the business community or outside of it, is a lot of resilience. And I think, so I would say it's been a good thing, a bad pandemic, but a good learning lesson.
Definitely. There are many innovative ideas which sprouted up during this
absolutely.
time.
And people's talent. I mean,
I've seen people who enjoyed and people who have said, like, I did the best during these 2 years. With all the ups and downs together.
True.
It's, every opportunity people grabbed. And that's why I think we came up with studios like this, the digital interviews, the Zoom platforms, isn't it?
Yeah, that's true. And I think Zoom as well. I mean, I think people are not into physical meetings and all anymore. And now it is like, more like, let's meet on Microsoft Teams. Let's do a Zoom. Let's do this. Even though we couldn't travel because of COVID, I think a lot of family gatherings and everything also started happening on digital platform, which is a good thing. We learned to get more connected.
More connectivity, yeah, indeed, more connectivity. And at least for the new generation children, I think that's doing a good. And Sarva, you just now touched upon that about starting your own business. And this show is Biz Talk, which features business leaders. And as always, I've had a handful of women, but not more than men. Tell me about your viewpoint on women in business, in general and in Bahrain.
Okay, in Bahrain, according to a study, apparently Bahrain has the highest percentage of women business founders. I don't know whether it's been validated, but that's something I read. And yes, I do encounter a lot of businesswomen that started it on their own, whether out of passion, whether out of need. And I think it's really amazing and it's really cool. Bahrain is very friendly, business friendly, and I think they live by that tagline. And women, yes, bring something else to the table. I think A, they're very good at picking up nonverbal clues.
Okay.
And B, they're good at their instinct. But having said that, being a woman in business or anywhere in the corporate world, business, okay, there's a pro and a con. And like I say, the pro is you're the boss, the con is you're the boss. You're a boss, you can decide flexibility, the style of business, what you want to do. The con, again, as a boss, you're accountable for the decisions that you take. So in both ways. And so if there's any women out there who would like to start their business, I'd like to tell them to keep that in mind. But yes, it's got its own sense of achievement and satisfaction. It's great. But if I come back to a work environment or a corporate, I'm running a business, I think it's important to have a good gender mix. Because let's not ignore the men, because they also
they complement,
yeah, they also come up with some analytical skills. Their rationale is different. So when you have a healthy viewpoint, different viewpoints, and they meet together, that I think triggers a kind of creativity and innovation, and that's what is required.
And you spoke about a good gender mix. These are the times when we are shouting for gender equality, isn't it? Gender gap,
right.
Bridging gender gap. And I agree with you 100%, the balance mix. What would be your comment on the claims of this need for bridging the gender gap or the gender equality? How do you look at it?
I think gender equality is important, and I would advocate that wholeheartedly. Like I said, because both the genders come up with different kind of, skill sets, psychological makeup, mindset, and I think to get that productivity or that outcome that you want in a creative or an innovative space, I think it's important. I'm a big advocate for gender equality, yes, absolutely.
Right, okay. That's a good start to a beautiful evening chat. And all those who are joining me on BIZ Talk from BMC Global Live, it is Sarva Velamuri, the founder of Out of the Box. Let's get to know her more in the coming segments. Let's take a short break.
ലുലു മണി സ്നേഹപൂർവ്വം.
the exclusive franchisee of Cochin Kala Bhavan in Bahrain. With over a decade of existence in Bahrain, exclusive online regular classes have started for classical dances, music vocal, instrumental music, cinematic dance, Kathak, Zumba body fitness, karate and yoga, drawing, arts and craft, children's theatre. For more information, please call 3909 6845 3909 4806 3885 2397 or visit www.bahrainmediacity.com.
Welcome back to BIZ Talk from BMC Global Life, and tonight with me is Sarva Velamuri.
Hi again.
Sarva, I would not introduce you this way, but then I'm sure I must introduce you this way as well. Let me solve the riddle for you. There are people with a voice that arrests your attention, as I told in the intro, you know. And I remember, I'm 21 years in Bahrain now. Right from the day I landed in Bahrain, I have been enchanted with this one voice. There are different voices that you hear, but the voice in Hindi, it's normal, right, when you travel out of the land, and that voice has always attracted me, and I'm sure there are many out there who have similar experience. Before asking you anything, can I ask you for that voice on the show today?
Oh my God, what's the announcement that you want?
Whatever, let's give the audience a surprise.
Okay, so do you want me to do the airport voice?
Yes, exactly.
In Hindi?
Yes.
Okay. गल्फ एयर की उड़ान 002 अब बॉम्बे जाने के लिए तैयार है. सभी यात्रियों से निवेदन है कि वो गेट नंबर 12 की ओर प्रस्थान करें.
Thank you very much.
But this is not the first time I've got this request, and sometimes I'm taken by surprise, but okay.
Thank you very much. And that is the New Year gift from BMC to all our viewers there.
Oh my God, okay.
I'm sure every one of us relates to this, especially the language and the voice, you know, and that too coming to the Gulf and going back home. This airport is very nostalgic, isn't it? And your voice has been a part of it. Let's talk about your voice. And when it comes to your voice, I love the very husky texture of it. I love it personally. I'm a fan.
Thank you.
Have you been always like this right from the beginning, or when did you identify your voice as that?
Okay, from childhood I always loved talking. I loved the mic. I used to take part in elocutions and debates. When I was in college, I actually wrote a letter to All India Radio. I want to take part in Yuvavani program.
Okay.
And they replied, they said, so and so date, show up. And there was a group discussion. And subsequently, a few weeks later, there was a small presentation. I had to do a speech, a humorous speech. And I got 35 rupees. Okay. And it was an account paid check. And I had to open a bank account to be able to, you know, those days. And all manual times those days, you know, passbook and whatever. And then after that, I left India. So when I left India, came to Bahrain in 1990, 97 is when I joined the radio and English language, 96.5. And there was a bit of apprehension because I have an Indian accent and they were used to having the native English speakers actually, you know, doing broadcast for 96.5. But I was persistent, and yes, I got on. So from 97, I've been reading news. And then I got an opportunity to translate English text to Hindi, which I did because I was born and brought up in Delhi. Hindi was fairly good. And then they said, can you do all these IVRs for us? So that's how the journey started. So I'm grateful for the opportunity. And the most recent one I've done is for Be Aware app.
I wanted to keep that as a surprise. Anyway, you broke the surprise. Yes, the latest is the Be Aware app.
Yeah, prior to that, I did something for Ministry of Industry and Commerce.
On the
where
CRs.
Where they were advocating that, about CR concealment, as they called it. And CR concealment as such, I had to coin a word in Hindi for that.
Okay.
So
what was the word? How did you coin it?
I coined it as Vyavasaik Chupav. There's no such word, but the Vyavasaik is business, Chupav is hiding it. Yeah. So hiding the identity of business. So that's the word I coined in Hindi, and I used it.
Okay.
Nobody objected.
All right. Okay. Okay.
So that's what.
The latest is a Be Aware, isn't it?
Yes.
And I think you are option number 3 on the Be Aware app.
Yes.
Isn't it? Okay.
Yeah, I tried calling myself the other day because nobody was answering 444. I had a question because there was a visitor. So I said, let me press option 3 because maybe somebody will answer quicker than option 1 or 2,
All right.
But then I told myself up and said, I haven't chosen the right option. And thank you. And I said, oh, that's strange.
Right. So, yeah, how was, you went to the radio. That was your first...
in the Bahrain, yes. I mean, in this...
no, I was talking about the time that you identified that there is this thing in your voice.
Yes.
That was back home, isn't it?
Yes.
And was this your ambition? Was this your...
I loved it. I mean, I absolutely loved it. And whenever there was an opportunity, actually, I did a lot of events while I was prior to even joining the radio. Any event that used to happen, I used to say, please take me. I want to MC the event. It was a nominal fee. MCing wasn't such a big thing then.
Yeah.
It was something not required. People did it internally. There was a corporate party, somebody was nominated. But I said, no, but give me a chance. So that's why I think I've done a lot of gigs, but that was at a younger age profile, yes. I did.
Do you see your voice have changed over these years?
Yes, definitely. I think it sounds more mature now.
Yeah,
but
of course. Apart from that, did you ever have a softer version of your voice? No. Was it always the huskier version right from the time?
I think it was softer before. I think it's huskier over time. I would think so.
Yeah, because I have only heard this voice, 20 years it has been the same.
And that has, so?
Yeah, I don't know. I was just asking, it was curious. And right now, are you still doing the...
I have the option to do news, but...
You're still with the 96.5?
Absolutely, I'm with 96.5. I look after the sales. I'm the head of the sales department. And that opportunity came to me again in 2020.
The COVID
and
times.
3 days later, COVID happened and it was a lockdown.
Okay.
And then I can read the news anytime that I wish to, but then it keeps me busy. But I get all kinds of recording for announcements, public service announcements. So I continue to do those for the radio. But actively news reading, no. But I did finish a training for one of the newcomers recently. So I train as well. So yeah, so I'm quite pleased.
Right. So what do you like more, the sales part of it or the behind the mic part of it in this field?
I think everything. I mean, radio as a medium, as a platform, as a broadcasting medium, definitely is amazing. I love it.
Okay.
Totally.
They say print is dying, okay, and radio is slowly coming back. Do you think so?
I think radio is evolving.
Isn't it?
It is an evolving media, yes. People do have an option to tune in to their choice of music or whatever, but radio with a presenter, it engages with the community. Our presenters, are different types, different types of content, relatable to the community, engaging. So it's evolving. And I think eventually what will happen is radio parallel with social media, and it will all be integrated into one. That's the vision Radio Bahrain is working towards. So it's an evolving medium, I would think.
Right, okay. And I think you were also into productions, isn't it? Many such shows and things that you've done, especially during the Ramadan time and the games and all that. Tell us a
Yeah,
little
that was long. That was with Bahrain Television. That was quite some time ago.
BTV.
There were two seasons of game shows that we produced. Was a part of the production team. It's called Tic Tac Toe. Thoroughly enjoyed that, and I also have worked with various production houses in the Kingdom of Bahrain, assisting them with production. So if there is a TV commercial or anything like that, I would be the location producer, sourcing out everything right from the cast, the crew, the wardrobe, the equipment, the locations, the props, and preparing a schedule, and thoroughly enjoyed doing that. I still do it, not at such a big scale, but I still do it. Because now I think if you can make your life easier as opposed to taking everything on your own, it's good to manage and have a bigger team for more efficiency, I would think.
Since we began this segment of the talk with the Gulf Air announcement, let's give an announcement to our audience on the vaccination in your voice, since you're also part of the Be Aware. How would you say that in Hindi?
Oh my God, you're taking me by surprise.
I know. Only if you're comfortable. Only if you're comfortable.
Okay. भाइयों और बहनों, आपके लिए एक सूचना है, कृपया करके वैक्सीनेशन अवश्य लीजिए.
No, that was perfect. That was perfect. Because, you know, it's very happy to hear someone whom you know and the voice out there. You just now said you tried yourself, isn't it?
Yes.
How did you feel when you tried yourself?
That's what I said, option 3, and I was told that I didn't choose the right option, and I'm thinking probably I didn't. I was.
What would be your tip to the upcoming RJs? Because radio is evolving and you see a lot of RJs coming up and new styles, new developments, isn't it? From the time that you joined and over the years, even now, even in news reading, you know, there are styles changing. But what would be your tip to the newer generation?
Love what you do. Give it your 100%. And think of the community that you're connecting to. Yes, you're alone in a studio, you know, but there are thousands listening to you. You know, yeah, respect that. Think about the content that they want, not about yourself. And even to deliver news, I think, I mean, there's a lot of sad news, but try to end it on a happy note. It's always nice to have light news. I always made the effort, if I had the time, because there's a limit to the news reading also. I mean, a bulletin is 5 minutes, a summary is 3. Always try to squeeze in a light story at least. It's nice to lift up people's spirits.
Right. With 96.5, you were reading the English news, and later I think we had a Hindi news as well. Hindi news,
yeah.
When was that?
No, Hindi news segment I did for Bahrain Television in BTV for 2011. And that also was unexpected. I was called and told, can you read news in Hindi? I said, yeah, sure. And yeah, so that's how it started. So we were a team of 2, only 2 of us. We used to do Hindi news on a daily basis. So that was an experience.
Right. And I think the country having a large chunk of expat population, I think it was also needed, isn't it?
Needed, and you know what is impressive is actually a lot of Bahrainis do understand Hindi. And some of them are even quite well conversant with the language, which is quite nice to know.
Maybe because of their interaction with the community more, and this country is known for that warmth, isn't it?
Absolutely. I think this country, I would think, is the only country in the world, I think, where they really embrace foreigners. The warmth, the hospitality, the way they embrace you, they make, you know, your own. And nobody leaves Bahrain, really, right?
Yes, this is one point which every guest, every expat guest had highlighted on this show. Nobody leaves. Everybody you see is over a decade for sure, if not more.
I came in 1990, and I remember exited the airport, boarded the van, and I saw the sea. You know, when you come out of Muharraq, I mean, it's changed a lot. That bridge wasn't there. It was a road and the old bridge. And I saw the sea, and it actually, I said, oh, this is sea green. I've never seen sea green, but this is sea green. And I love it. And the petunias were blooming. It was in the month of October in 1990.
Okay.
And I said, wow, what an amazing place. I mean, I would love to live here. Who knew that I would still be here 32 years later?
In 90, you wanted to live here. This country has a warmth, indeed, no doubt about it. Despite, like, you know, in 1990, there was barely anything what you see today, isn't it?
1990, when I came, the population was 500,000, or 400,000 or 500,000. Look at where we are now.
Yeah.
And, you know, things were...
Even geographically, I think it was very empty, isn't it?
Yes,
the drive from the
totally.
airport to Manama was like most of the time it would have been the place would have been empty.
Absolutely empty. And where I live currently in Sar, that road, maybe every 20 minutes a car would pass by.
Okay.
And now, my God, it's chaos and the traffic.
Now, in the 90s, if you wish to live here, that speaks volumes about this beautiful country. And indeed, you and me are testimony to that, isn't it?
Yeah,
Sitting-
absolutely, yes.
The way they have embraced us, especially during the pandemic. This is the toughest of the times the world has been through. And I think Bahrain did a great job.
Bahrain has done a phenomenal job. I mean, in terms of the awareness, the campaigns, you know, the interest in people, the promotion of vaccinations. It's amazing. It's really good. And I think I'd like to take this opportunity to thank actually the frontline workers and
Indeed.
everybody and the Ministry of Health. Amazing.
Yes, hats off to the leadership and the frontline workers, yes. And let me ask you, I think you also had a stint of with the Gulf Air, isn't it?
Yes, in 1990 I came as a Gulf Air cabin crew, yes.
Okay. So what was your ambition as a child in terms of, what did you want to become?
What did I want to become? Seriously, I wanted to become a detective. Honestly.
Okay.
I think I was too carried away by Perry Mason.
Okay.
So I don't know. Yeah, but somehow, you know, but ended up in media.
I think this is the first person ever to tell me that she wanted to be a detective. Interesting. Okay.
Yeah, so, I mean, if you're asking me, that's the honest answer.
Okay.
When I was in
But
school.
did you put in any effort to become a detective?
Not really. I mean, I read more and more thrillers. And
And I'm sure you don't regret. I asked you because you took up the job of being a cabin crew, and then at that time I'm sure you were still aware of the fact that you have a wonderful voice and you could do something like this. But what
I
took
don't know
you to
about
the-
wonderful voice, but I like to use my voice.
Yeah.
So I made sure any flight I took, I made sure I told the supervisor, I'm doing the announcement in the aircraft.
Okay.
So some were kind enough to say, okay. Some would say, no, I'm doing it. Okay.
Was there anything else that you tried other than being a cabin crew and a businesswoman and the voice behind all this? Anything else that you tried your hands
Really, I
on?
mean, I've done all kinds of varied jobs when I was younger. I mean, because I wanted to be independent from a very young age. And my parents could never understand that why. I mean, you know, I come from an academically inclined background. But when I finished my second year of college, I went to a place called, of course, at that time, not many people were familiar. I went to Sana'a in Yemen. I joined Yemenia. I celebrated my 19th birthday there.
Wow.
So from that day onwards, actually, I consider myself an independent woman. So
Right. But what took you to Sana'a? Why Sana'a? Why Yemeni?
I saw a newspaper ad, I applied. Very adventurous.
All right.
And my dad said, no, you're not going there. You show me where is it on the map. So I said, okay. I knew it was somewhere near the Red Sea. I said, Dad, it's here. Yeah, so yeah.
Okay. All right.
So that's how I ended up there. Then I came to Bahrain. I haven't left and I don't intend leaving. This is home.
Right. I think we're missing out on something else as well. Bollywood steps,
Yes.
isn't it? What was that all about, Sarva?
I thought there was, there is also, I wanted to start a fitness studio.
Okay.
Instead of the boring, exercise cardio, pump it up with nice Bollywood music. It would be dance, exercise, it would be fun, it would be lively. Unfortunately, I started it with a friend of mine, Sushma. and we started the company together. And after 2 years or 3 years, I couldn't give so much time. So I exited. They continued for a bit. But the pandemic, unfortunately, they had to close it down. But while it lasted, it was good. We did a lot of shows. We got a lot of inquiries. I mean, we've done some good shows.
Right. But does that speak of something of your personal interest? Do you dance?
Do I dance? I love to watch dancing and all the dance shows. I do dance, yes, but no, not something that I can call myself a dancer, no. But I enjoy it, yes.
Right, okay.
Yeah, good music is always nice, no? Lively, upbeat.
Yes. And on this upbeat episode this new year from BMC Studios, it is Sarva Velamuri. Let's take a break. Welcome back to BIZ Talk from BMC Global Live, and this evening with me is the beautiful Sarva Velamuri.
Hi again.
Yes, hi again. And Sarva, as we come to the last segment of this, I really loved the chat, trust me. And I need to know something about your hobbies, because while going through your profile, I found it very interesting that you are interested in Scrabble and Sudoku, isn't it?
Yeah. Sudoku, I mean, I buy the newspaper, and first thing in the office, they know that first I need to do the Sudoku, then I start my day.
Okay.
Yeah. And I'm very fond of cinema, by the way. I watch a lot of films, and I would like to say that in India, I mean, I watch in Indian languages, with subtitles, of course. I watch Bengali films, Tamil, Malayalam, Telugu. Okay. Telugu I understand, I don't need subtitles for that.
Malayalam, you need subtitles?
Yes, I do.
Okay, but you still watch?
I do.
Which is the latest Malayalam movie that you watched?
Don't ask me the names. I think it was Kurup. It's on Netflix. Though.
Okay, okay.
But my first Malayalam movie, I'll tell you.
Oh, right.
My friend, when I came to Bahrain, in fact, I think it was in 1990 or 91, my friend said, you know, we must watch one Malayalam movie. And it's called Puchukuru Mukati. I said, okay, what does it mean? She said, no spin for a cat.
No spin for a cat, yes.
And it was made in Hindi, I think, that Hangama, yes. And I thoroughly enjoyed it, and that's when I started experimenting. But to name a few Malayalam movies that I know, I think Kiridam is a very
Okay.
good movie. I can't remember names, unfortunately, but this movie I remember, Kiridam, Drishyam, of course.
Okay.
Both part 1 and 2. But yeah,
Both happens to be Mohanlal movies.
yes.
Are you
But,
a fan?
You know, I like Mammootty.
I hope the Mohanlal fans out there don't take it
Oh my God,
offense.
they would, Laliyatan. But having said
But they
that,
must be happy. They should be happy because you remembered Mohanlal's movies, though you are a Mammootty fan.
yes, I do remember his movies. He's a great actor,
Indeed,
undoubtedly.
definitely.
I think, I mean, I wish I remember names, but I think I've watched a lot of Malayalam films, a lot.
So, what's your mother tongue?
Telugu.
Telugu. You are from Andhra, but
Yes.
born and brought up in Delhi.
Yes.
Right? Tell us a little more about your family.
Family, I have a brother. We grew up in Delhi, then we moved to Ahmedabad. I did my high school there, did my college in Bombay, then of course went to Yemen, came to Bahrain. 1990 October I landed. On my first flight I met a Bahraini gentleman who I eventually married in 92, Ali Al-Hawaj. We have a beautiful daughter. She'll be 23 in a few days. So yeah, that's pretty much my family, and I'm very blessed. My husband's siblings and family have Bahraini in-laws, and I think they're wonderful.
Okay.
So it's great. So that's my family.
All right. Okay. So, what about your roots from the Andhra, like Telugu?
I do speak good Telugu. I would like to believe so. I mean, no, I do. I
You
do. I
do.
do. Actually, I did a voiceover. I mean, I did the IVR for Gulf Air flights to Hyderabad. That's my Telugu safety announcements.
Okay.
I had to translate in Telugu, and yeah, so I managed to do it. So I haven't heard it, but I recorded it and sent it, and I believe it's on those flights. So it was on those flights. So yes, I'm quite proud of the fact that I can speak Telugu. It's my mother tongue, yes. Unfortunately, I think a lot of people from the newer generation actually don't speak their mother tongue.
And it's, yeah. And about Telugu, I think we have very few.
The Telugu
yeah,
Kala
that-
Samiti is
yeah.
quite active, actually.
They're very active,
But
but,
a
then
small
when it comes to
community, yes.
Telugu speaking people, you know, especially when you need a translation, in my field of the job, when I really come across someone who speaks, I find it very difficult. I only know a couple of women out there.
Yeah, I've
who
been
can
asked
speak.
to translate also. I've received calls before from workers and whatever, you know, to help translate, do this. And
This might be comparative because compared to Malayalam, Telugu, every other person you see is a
Yes,
Malayali.
yeah,
isn't it?
yeah.
Yeah.
So yes, I do speak Telugu. I think I can speak a quite an average Tamil also.
Okay.
But Malayalam, despite the fact I watch the movies, I don't think I can speak the language that well.
Okay, so you enjoy all these things, right? Movie, even though without with the subtitles. Sometimes it can
subtitles.
distract because Drishyam and all. You really need to focus. How do you manage this subtitle?
Oh, I
and-
can.
You can.
Yeah, no problem.
Anyway,
at all.
Drishyam was in Hindi as well. Okay.
Yeah, the Drishyam in Hindi, I mean, good, but Malayalam version was the best.
Okay.
I think a lot of Hindi films are remakes of Malayalam. I remember Billu Babar. I watched it in Malayalam. I don't know the Malayalam name.
Yeah, the Billu Barber. I
Yeah.
forgot the name, but yeah.
Yeah,
That's a
amazing.
Mammootty movie. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Okay.
I think you lose the, you know, I prefer to watch in the language with subtitle because I feel there's some kind of an essence, though I don't understand the language really. But still, it's comforting to the ear, I think, for me.
Okay. So what are your other passions, hobbies? What do you do during your free time, if at all you have any?
Free time, not much. I mean, the job, the business keeps me busy. I try to read. Right now, on my bedside, I'm reading for the third time Autobiography of a Yogi.
Okay.
I just finished reading a book by a Turkish author called Aysa Kulin, Last Train to Istanbul. So yeah, I mean, yeah, I read, watch cinema, and last 3 months I've been doing it, But I do go for a morning jog,
Okay.
4 kilometers. Last 3 months because I find it really cold. So,
Okay.
not 3 months, a little less than 3 months, yeah, so I haven't been going. But I enjoy that. I'm a morning person.
Okay.
I love early mornings. I love sunrise.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So, yeah, we have come to the close of the show, and it's a beautiful new year. And we cannot part without together wishing our audience a very happy new year. And at the same time, tell me, I'm not a person who believes in New Year resolutions, but then still, what about you? Do you have any resolution? What's the way forward? How do you look at 2022?
2022, I'd like to take this opportunity to tell all the viewers, do not postpone happiness. Stay happy, keep smiling. That's it, and a wonderful 2022.
All right. Do you have any personal goals set for the year?
Each day as it comes.
Right. Thank you so much, Sarva, for joining
Thank you. I
us.
thoroughly enjoyed the evening. Thank you.
Yeah, the team BMC is indeed proud to have you with us this evening. Can I have your final remarks for the team, for all the men out there who've been hosting us?
I'd like to say, I think please continue doing the good work that you're doing. It's great for us to have a platform. BMC team, thank you so much, and wish you all as well a very wonderful 2022.
Thank you, Sarva. Thank you so
you.
much. So that was Sarva Velamuri, the founder of Out of the Box Media and Event Company, joining us on BIZ Talk this evening from BMC Global Live. Until we meet next week with yet another guest, this is Rajiv Unikrishnan signing off. Good night.
Stunning collection of fine jewelry, gemstones, pearls and diamonds. Fine pieces in timeless designs and unspoken elegance. Al Siraj Jewelry. Our story, our pride.
വിഷമിക്കണ്ട എല്ലാം ശരിയാവും
ലുലു മണി സ്നേഹപൂർവ്വം.
The exclusive franchisee of Cochin Kala Bhavan in Bahrain. With over a decade of existence in Bahrain, exclusive online regular classes have started for classical dances, music vocal, instrumental music,
Thank you, Sarva, for joining us.
Thank you so much. My pleasure and honor, and all the best.
Thank you. From Team BMC, we have a small memento for you. I call upon Praveen Krishna, the media and admin head of BMC, to hand you the memento.
Thank you very much indeed. Wow, thank you.
The exclusive franchisee of Cochin Kala Bhavan in Bahrain. With over a decade of existence in Bahrain, exclusive online regular classes have started for classical dances, music vocal, instrumental music, cinematic dance, Kathak, Zumba body fitness, karate and yoga, drawing, arts and craft, Children's Theatre. For more information, please call 3909 6845 3909 4806 3885 2397 or visit www.bahrainmediacity.com. Since 2006, Magnum Imprint have been offering high standards of quality with our professional team that delivers all your advertising and promotional requirements efficiently and promptly. For more details, please contact 39887088 or 3385